broken neck.
A broken neck?
Yes, some fractured vertebrae. I believe she doesn't have any feeling in her right hand.
Ms. Hill, is that a result of this accident here?
Yes, sir.
Ay, ay, ay. Hi, Mom. Thank you so much for coming. So she's charged, you are charged, man, with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. It looks like you had court on the 3rd of this month. No one appeared. And so we issued the warrant. So right now your case is in warrant status. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, man. Okay, please.
Your Honor. On August 11, 2024, officers were dispatched to a crash call in Houston, Texas. They spoke with the witness, who advised that he arrived on scene soon after it happened. And then he observed defendant in the driver's seat of her vehicle, and he observed her vehicle crash into another vehicle in the middle of the roadway. Defendant's vehicle had heavy front damage and was facing oncoming traffic. The complainant's witness vehicle also had heavy front end damage. Officers spoke with the defendant, who stated she was driving at the time of the crash. The car was registered to the defendant. The defendant appeared disoriented, had swaying, staggering, and had slurred speech and a moderate odor of an alcoholic beverage. Santa Cruz sobriety tests were administered, and HGN had 6 out of 6 clues. Walk and turn and one leg stand were not completed due to injuries to defendant's legs. Defendant was taken to Ben Taub ICU. A blood warrant was drafted and blood was taken.
You don't have the results of the blood, do you?
Check, Your Honor.
Do we have a strong odor of alcohol? Do we have?
There's station mild odor of alcohol.
Okay, because that's, I was wondering how.
Yes,
Okay.
and there's no blood results.
Do they, again, I'm assuming they didn't do a DRE. So we know whether it's pills, whether it's
No, Your Honor.
marijuana. I mean,
Not that I know, Judge. I don't believe so.
Ms. Hill, if I drug test you now, what's going to show up?
Because I think she'll be fine.
My concern is if you're taking pills, right? That's my concern, is that if you're driving in a car, you're taking pills, you're about to fall asleep and you end up wrecking. And
She said she will have no problem taking a drug test for that, Judge.
yeah, I mean, my concern is this, is that it looks like you're injured pretty bad, right? And they're going to give you a lot of dope to help kill the pain. And that's always when it starts. And then it becomes a very, very slippery slope, because once you've got that monkey on your back, meaning pain pills, it is very, very difficult to shed. I mean, in some people, it's almost impossible, and they become lifelong addicts, and they're in and out of the pokey. That's what I'm trying to prevent with you. So I am ordering you now not to use any alcohol or any dope whatsoever. If I find that you're using, I'm going to put you in jail. You're going to be healing on your own in custody. Do you understand? When I mean no dope, I mean no dope from any sources whatsoever, no self-medicating. I'm telling you, I'm going to drug test you like crazy, and I want to know that you're not using. Do you understand me, man?
Yes, sir.
Do you have a Texas driver license, ma'am?
Yes.
Do you have liability insurance in your name?
No, sir.
Then you're not allowed to drive. No driving whatsoever until I see that you have liability insurance with your name on it and you get court approval from us. You will be signing an affidavit with me today promising me that you're not going to drive. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I will reinstate your bond now, meaning that I'm going to take the warrant away. This is the only time I'm going to do it. If you miss court again.
It was at ACIOC. We issued a warrant. There was no bond.
Okay, so we'll have to set our bond now. I mean, no, well, I guess we set the bond at 2501. I'll just keep it at that amount, but we'll give her a PR bond. So I'm going to give you a PR bond today, Ms. Hill. This is the only one that you're going to get. You pick up another DWI, you start violating conditions. Serious as a heart attack, into jail you will go. Do you understand? Mom, should we be concerned? Is she okay? You know her better than anyone else. All I'm trying to do is I don't want her to go to jail again. And I don't know if she has a drug or alcohol issue that we need to address. You know her better than anyone else. And the problem is if she goes to jail, who do you think she's going to call begging for her to bond out? You. And right. And then when they put on the water show on you, it's going to be very difficult for you not to do it. And then you get to be on the hook for a bunch of money. I'm trying to prevent that. So do we have any drug or alcohol issues with Miss Hill?
Right now, she has been sober.
What's the drug of choice? Is it pills?
It was marijuana, but she's been sober. She made that decision before the accident to stop. So,
Before the accident or
Mhm.
after the accident?
no, before the accident.
We have this accident though, and the blood test gonna show something.
Possibly. I don't know what the blood test-
And I don't know, but I'm putting you on notice.
Yeah.
No more. I'm gonna test you like crazy. I hope that you understand this, Miss Hill.
I do.
Okay,
If it means anything, I do think that she has had the scared straight moment with this accident. She's on her own taking an alcohol awareness class. I did not tell her to take that. So I know that she's been proactive in her own recovery during this time.
look how banged up you are. Look at your hand, man. Look. I mean, you're lucky you didn't kill yourself. You were really lucky that you're not paralyzed. I mean, I think, are you? Be careful. These small decisions you make now will impact you for the rest of your life. You've got a great lawyer. He will help you out. You must maintain contact with him. I will waive your appearance, but I'm telling you, I'm gonna drug test you like crazy. Be ready, because within the next couple of weeks, you will be called to take a drug test. If you don't show up, I will issue a warrant. Do you understand me, Ms. Hill? So be ready. If you don't have a prescription, and even if you do have a prescription for something, you can still abuse it, and that's what we don't want. Mom, please be careful, and you've got one very short life to live. Okay, I'll have you come up here, swear to us that you're not gonna drive until you get insurance. At that point, Mo,
Thank you, Your Honor.
she doesn't have any prior DWIs, does she?
No, Judge.
No, Your Honor.
Okay,
No powers at all.
Ms. Hill, we want you to live a long life, not like this.
Thank you.
The other thing that you need to consider, you get into this accident, if you didn't have insurance, who do you think they're gonna come after? Depending on how much damage there is, $30,000-$40,000, who are they gonna come after? No, whose car is this? Whose car was it? It was your car? You didn't let her borrow the car, did you?
No, sir, that was her.
Okay, yeah, you need to consider these things, Okay, thanks, Mo.
Thank you for your
Come
time.
on.
Thank you.
She can't leave because we're gonna need to meet with Rachel for the PR bond and for bond conditions, so,
Thanks, Judge.
okay. You signed conditions on June 8th stating that you would not use alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. And you're still using. What are we supposed to do about that, Ms. Senegal? You take off repeatedly. We tell you to go take a cask evaluation and you refuse to do the evaluation. What are we supposed to do with that, Ms. Senegal? Is your mom here? The only way you're staying out of jail right now is if I'm able to talk to her to figure out what's going on with you. What is her phone number? Yeah, that's a good idea. Don't say it, just write it down.
The scars right there. There, the scars.
Do I need to do with a prefix of 225? Do I have to do a code to get out? Do you know how to do that? Can you help me out?
Oh, Stephen has it on a sticky note for you.
Okay, here, we'll give that back to you.
Thank you, Steve.
I don't know how to do it.
Oh, yeah, it's the same like mine. So it's this. And then that's the code. It tells you how to do it. No, you're doing 9.
Oh, I forgot that.
Where's the phone number?
Hello.
Careful.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Are you Miss Senegal's mother?
Brianna?
Yes, Brianna Senegal's mother.
Yes, sir.
My name is David Fleischer. I'm the judge in court 5 here.
Okay.
I have her in front of me right now,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not very happy with her. And, you know, we have a lot of history with her. A lot of history that includes failure to comply with conditions of bond, failure to appear in court when directed, and quite frankly, doing whatever she wants to do without regard to any kind of court orders. I see that you bonded her out this past time.
Mm-hmm.
One of the conditions I had put on her bond is not to use any illegal drugs. She's not complied with that condition. And so my fear is that she's going to live on the street, and I don't want her to do that.
No, we don't want her to do that because I work from home and I need to be focused at work, and I let her use my car. She don't have no transportation. That's probably one of the reasons why she can't get back and forth to court, because I had problems with my car. I'm a single parent trying to take care of 4 kids. It's hard out here, very hard. I just started this job. I'm trying to help her out as much as I can because I see, it's nothing else for her to do. So
Does Brianna have a Texas driver license?
yes, she do.
Do you have her insured to be able to drive on your insurance?
Well, the insurance, my mama pays for it because the car is in my mom and my name.
But if Brianna Senegal, if her name is not on the policy, she gets into a wreck, they're going to come after you guys. They're not going to come after her. So
I understand that, Judge.
Right.
I'm just saying it's hard out here, and it's The car is in me and my mom's name. That's how hard it is. I'm trying to get on my feet now because I just recently started working a work from home job to catch up on bills, to catch up on a lot of things. I don't have nobody helping me. So it's really hard. That's why I let her use my car to get back and forth to court, because I don't need her getting arrested for something that I don't know what's going on. She has kids to see about. I don't know if you're aware of that, but I have the kids.
Are you familiar, do you familiar with what she's charged with? Do you know what's going on in these cases?
No, I mean, she told me once before when she had the warrant, it was a prostitution charge, but she said she wasn't doing that type of thing. If something happened at the wrong time.
She picked up another one.
Yes, I think the bondsman told me she had 2 of them. Is it the one recent or it's old?
One of them is, one of them is from,
The dates down. Let me just see if we can confirm dates right now, and you could just let me know. I think I did do that, write the dates down, but Lord. Let me get my tablet. Let's see, just a second. Was one June the 8th, 24, and the other one April 2nd, 24?
correct.
Okay, yeah, he did tell me that. I wasn't aware of the June 8th.
So, you know, from what I think and what I've been told is she's been living with you and you have certain rules that she's supposed to comply with.
Mm-hmm.
And when she doesn't comply with those rules, she's gone and she ends up on the street. And then she ends up
Yeah.
doing things that she shouldn't be doing on the street. And I want to prevent that at all cost. And if that
Right.
means locking her up, that's what we're gonna do.
No, you
And
shouldn't do that today, please, sir. She's in my car. I don't have no way to get there. And that's my only means of transportation. I can't keep affording to bond her out of jail because I'm borrowing money from people. You have to pay that back. I'm on a housing voucher that pays my rent for me now. I just started a job. I haven't started a job yet. I won't.
so is your
get
last
the
name,
job.
is your last name Senegal as well, or is it a different last name?
No, Senegal.
Okay, so Miss Senegal, I need you to understand that if she's not gonna comply with bond conditions, I'm going to lock her up. And if you're gonna keep bonding her out, that's on you. But
No,
if
I
she
can't.
refuses to comply with conditions, then I'm gonna just keep locking her up and that's it. Because I know in lockup, at least she's safe versus running on the street and not complying with
Well-
your rules.
Well, when she does leave, because she does do hair, she does hair here to my house. So locking up is not going to be the issue on my side because I don't have no money to keep getting them out of jail. And another thing, she has kids to see about, and I'm working also. I cannot keep going through this because I don't want to lose my job. I need my job.
Look,
Because then next, I'm going to be out on the streets too because I can't afford this because they're going to cut me off my voucher.
you see what happens every time you violate conditions? Do you see what is putting your mom into? Do you see what happens? So what you do affects everyone around you, not in a good way. And the money that instead of spending money on rent, food, other kids, she's using it to bond you out, to keep you out, to let you do and smoke weed and run the streets anyways. I'm not gonna do that.
How will I get my car, sir? I need my car. I'll let her use my car to go to court. I need my car.
Miss Senegal, I would be very careful about that in the future. Especially if she's not covered by car insurance. I would be very, very careful.
Well, I wanted her to go to court because if she missed court after I just bonded her out, it's going to be situation with the bondsman.
I agree with you. And look, we're gonna work something out and the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put an ankle monitor on her. And I'm gonna give her a curfew. So that she's not out in the middle of the night.
Okay.
So my issue that I need to know is that she's not going to use any dope. And
Absolutely not.
she tested positive for dope today, man. That's why I was
Okay,
going to
what's the
put her in
difference,
jail.
Dope or marijuana?
Marijuana.
She's not gonna use that over here. I mean, and if she don't get it, that you cannot be dirty going to court, hey, I don't know what else to tell her. Because
So-
you need to do what you have to do to get out this situation.
One of the other things that I wanted her to do was have her evaluated by clinicians here in the court to see what we can do to try to help her. She refused that.
How is she gonna get back and forth, sir?
She can take the bus.
No, it's no bus that run in a Tascasita.
She can take an Uber.
Who have money for that? We already got to
I mean, you're paying money for gas anyways. It's the same thing.
No, I'm saying, who have money for an Uber from here to there? You know how far we stay from you guys?
Can we
It's about
have
45
her?
minutes, 50 minutes.
No. We could, can we have her evaluated somewhere over there? In the Tascasita?
Oh,
No.
okay. So what that
Do you-
mean, evaluation? What is that? What are you talking about? Like
What
rehab or
it's
something?
an evaluation to see how we go forward with this case. So what they would essentially do is interview her to see what kind of services, what kind of help would be what best to help her go forward.
Okay. I don't know.
Give me 1 second, ma'am. I'm checking with our liaison officer.
Okay.
No, not necessarily. Like a cast or a T-Raz. We do a T-Raz. Like in one of the probation offices that they have in the regions, you know. Is that something that we can do?
They could do it over the phone. If she's not on for 40 minutes, I just sent her, I could do it over the phone.
That's a good idea.
Or Zoom.
Zoom. We can have her do it via Zoom.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Yes, that's absolutely fine. Yes. Thank you, Lord.
If you ever test positive again for anything, I don't care what it is, alcohol, marijuana, a THC gummy, I'm going to lock you up and I will triple the bond. So it's going to be $60,000 the next time.
Yes, sir.
If you miss court again, that's going to happen. I'm ordering you also to do this evaluation as well, so that we can see where we go. The other thing that, ma'am, that Ms. Senegal,
Yes.
the district attorney also offered that's called a P180. It's a program that if she went and had an evaluation with persons at the DA's office, they would have dismissed both of the cases. She failed to go to this as well.
How far is it? I mean, maybe because
I don't know.
transportation.
Is that at the Harris Center? Where is it? Do you know?
It's not the Harris Center, but it's somewhere here in downtown. It's not Harris Center, but it's not mental health, it's a P180, so.
I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't know.
If she failed to go, again, Judge, I'm sorry if you're not understanding, but she don't have no transportation. And I was having problems with my car, so it's hard for her to get back and forth. It's hard.
You guys have to do something with this case at some point, though. So it's, that's the way. Are you guys still offering that?
P180, yes, sir. I kept the offer open to that.
They still have this offer open to her where if she has a meeting with people at the district attorney's office, they'll dismiss both of her cases.
Okay, when is the meeting? When is
I don't
the
know.
meeting?
We'd have to set it up. I don't know.
Okay, can you
um,
set it up anytime before September 1st? I mean, but I start working on the 9th. I can't miss work at all.
Pavel, let's see.
I'll make sure she get there.
What was the question, Judge?
Can you set it sometime before the 9th of September?
For P180, I haven't, yesterday I just set the last September setting that I had, so it's gonna be into October, because yesterday I remember the Mandarin speaker, she got the last September setting that I have, so, I'm gonna have to put her in.
Who's that program? Who is it? So I can email them and see.
Let's see.
There's got to be a way, because I'm sure that there are other people also that are gonna not make it or have canceled, whatnot.
So the interview or the email I use, I'll just give it to you right now. It's a general email. I always email them and they reply back on the email.
Okay. You want to bring it up to here so we don't say it out loud?
Yes. That's exactly what it is. I'm gonna email you and I'll
Oh,
CC.
yeah, that's a good idea.
Ricardo, I found your email.
You got it?
What I'm gonna do now, ma'am, is I'm gonna email them and I'm gonna ask them if they have something.
That's the email I always use for them. I will be able to use.
You did all three of them? You ordered all three of them? Did you water all three of them?
All right, so I'm going to email the forensic interview team to see what day they have, if they have something prior to September 9th. I cannot guarantee you that they do. I don't know, but I'm gonna try for you, okay?
Okay.
I have appointed Brianna a lawyer now. And Ms. Senegal,
Yes, sir.
this has nothing to do with you, and it has everything to do with Brianna. And I'm not gonna let her do whatever she wants to do. She has to comply with our conditions, or there's only one place that you're gonna go. You know now that if we have to put you in jail again, your bond is gonna be extremely high. You're gonna be stuck in there. And I will not do anything until you take the interview that we want you to do. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I will test you again in 31 days. I mean, if you test positive again, you go to jail.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to put a GPS monitor on your ankle today, and I'm giving you a curfew of 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. You're not allowed to go out. The GPS monitor will tell me where you are. I'm going to pay for you so that there's no excuse. If you fail to charge it, if the thing dies, so do you. You have to charge it on a daily basis. You have to comply with the conditions, no alcohol, no dope. And I'm going to test you on more occasions, not just the 31st, but I'm going to test you on more occasions because I'm putting you on random urinalysis. You will be required to get tested. If you are not properly insured on that car, don't drive, because if you get in a wreck and you maim someone out there, I mean, I know it's not your fault, but they're called accidents for a reason. They're not on purpose. They're called accidents. If you get into an accident and kill someone, they're going to sue your mom, your grandmother, and everyone else. Not you, because you don't have anything, but they'll go after everybody else. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So the idea is, if you want to drive, you got to get insurance. That's it. And I'm not asking you to do anything, but just follow the law. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to set this case off for just a couple of weeks. I'm going to email the forensic interview team. I will keep Ricardo and Pavel, our DAs, in the loop as to what they say as far as the date is concerned. And then they will reach out to you when they give us a date.
Okay.
do
You
you
want to give them my phone number?
Well, I was going to give you Ricardo's phone number, a lawyer, if that's okay. Do you have pen and paper?
A second.
Okay. I'm going to have Ricardo reach out to you. I have your phone number, and he's got your phone number. He's going to reach out to you so that you guys can talk about this case.
Okay.
Ma'am, understand, just please stay on top of it so she's not out on the street. That's all I want to do. That, and she's not using. As long as she's doing those two things, I'm happy.
Yes, sir. I totally understand.
Okay?
I do, and I appreciate you so much.
And I thank you for taking the time to be with us as well, okay?
Anytime.
Okay, ma'am. Take care.
All right. You too.
Okay. All right. I just sent the email. I'm sending you now for a monitor. You will be randomly tested. Within the next 2 weeks, you're going to come back to take another test. If you fail to come, if you fail to test, or if you're caught using, you know what happens. Don't run. Follow your mom's rules so you don't end up on the street.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thanks. Yeah.
Right, thank you.
Thanks for coming. I think that that's a good idea, especially via Zoom, and then we can just get the report, see what it says. And then we're not necessarily tied to it, but I'd like to know what they say, what the best course of action is. Yeah. I'd like to do that as well. Okay, we're gonna have you do it via Zoom. If you don't do the forensic interview, all bets are off. Okay? Please,
Judges, you put your that's in order, you're putting.
please.
Judge, in 2 weeks, is that?
Column, you're charged with driving while intoxicated, second offense. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. How old are you?
26.
26, and you now have 2 DWIs. What happens on the next one?
I don't know.
You need to know what happens on the next one.
Bad news, yeah.
No, not bad news. What happens? I'm going to tell you now that you now have 2 DWIs going on your record. If you were ever pulled over and you have the slightest smell of alcohol on your breath, any officer that pulls you over is going to say, well, if it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck, meaning if it's got DWI one and it's got another DWI, it's probably DWI again and is able to withhold his tolerance. They're going to arrest you. No questions asked. They're not going to give a rat's behind whether you're drunk or not. The smell alone will be enough to take them down. And now you will be looking at up to 10 years in prison. Up to 10 years in prison. That's what you're going to be facing. I hope you really appreciate the gravity, because do you know what they would do to you in prison, Mr. McCollum? A little white boy stick piece, you know what they would do to you in prison? Holy moly, I've read stuff that was so bad it had me in freaking tears. How they just pass people along like it's a freaking rag doll. And you know what? The jailers don't give a rat's behind what happens in there. Some places are so bad they don't even go there. And I promise you, because I'm a judge, I get to read extra stuff that you're never going to get your eyes on. And it literally had me in tears, how they treat people. So you're one step away. And I hope that you appreciate that. All you have to do is pick up a phone, hit one button. You'll have a car for $20, take you anywhere you want to go in this freaking city. Don't matter where you want to go. It's always $20. How much money have you spent on all this? Yeah, and now it's going to cost you more because you will be required to pay for the DPS fines and fees and surcharges. And if you don't, I'm going to put your butt in jail. And every $100 you owe, you will sit in custody. You're now going to be required to pay somewhere to the tune of around $6,500 to $7,000. So you can imagine how much time you will sit in jail if you don't pay it. Do you understand? Because I am trying to impress on you how dangerous this type of offense is and how very important you must take this in the future so you don't end up in prison. What are we doing, jail?
They reduced it to a Class B misdemeanor, DWI first, interlock, 18 months probation, and TRAS, all the conditions that go with the TRAS.
$180 days in jail to be probated for 18 months. As part of the probation, you will do a repeat offender DWI education class, 2 victim impact panels, a TRAS, which is an evaluation to see what other conditions you may need. You must fulfill those conditions. If they tell you that you need to do inpatient treatment, well, that's where you're going to go. If they tell you that you have to do intensive outpatient or SOP, then you must do those as well. If you don't, then guess what happens? I will issue a warrant for your arrest, and then you will be looking at 180 days in jail. And I myself, if I find that you're consuming alcohol while you're on this probation, I will put you into treatment myself. And I'm going to tell you, it lasts for 180 days if you respond to treatment well. If not, you could be in there for a year and a half. Do you understand? I just put someone in yesterday and they're going to be in there for a solid 6 to 9 months, maybe a year and a half. You understand? No drugs, alcohol, random urinalysis, guardian interlock, no breath test refusal, meaning that if you take a breath, if you're driving in a car and an officer asks you to submit to a breath test, you must submit to a breath test. If you don't, you're in violation of this agreement. Do you understand? You were giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers, right to be arraigned, charged read in open court. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. So once you accept this agreement, there's no turning back. You now at 26 have 2 DWIs on your record. Do you understand? How do you plead to this offense? I will find you guilty. I am going to suspend your license for 1 year. JL, what happened on the?
We won.
Okay. You guys can apply for an occupational license. I want to know that he's doing well. And I don't think that we've had any violations so far, correct?
No, sir. And Judge, just to be clear, so when we get the occupational license, and Dustin King will be doing that part, and he has to go get the interlock on his vehicle. He's gonna have someone else to drive the
Correct.
vehicle to the facility to get the interlock, because you cannot drive without an interlock.
As of
period.
this moment, you may not drive. Your license is suspended. If I catch you in a car driving, and we're gonna have you sign an affidavit promising us you're not gonna drive before you leave here. If you drive, you will be doing a substantial amount of time in jail. I don't care what your excuse is. I don't care if there's a burning building and you have to save 15 kids. Mother Teresa needs a ride to church. I don't care. Do you understand? Okay. Yeah, JL, if he does well, I think, and he's been doing well so far, that's good news. So we want to know that you appreciate the gravity of this offense going forward. The idea is that you have such a miserable experience here that you remember us 15 years down the road, 20 years down the road, you have some kind of catastrophic event in your life that causes you to go out, you get blitzed. You know what? I better not get in this car and go home. That was such a miserable experience. Huh? Yeah, he's gonna have to pay. What are court costs now? Was it a breath test or was it a blood test?
He volunteered breath, it's a 0.145.
Okay, so 6,000 and then plus court costs.
Even thought it was reduced.
Yes, yeah. I will give you time to pay it. Okay, I will give you, 2 years, so it's not going to break your bank, right? Because I understand, but I want you to understand that you're not going to get out of this scot-free. And I want you to appreciate this. You understand?
So surcharges apply even though it's not time served.
Correct. Yeah. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah. And I will grant you the occupational because he's been doing well. Okay. Just mind Dustin that, because I'm going to forget
I will.
that you guys had it and that we had this agreement, and then I'll grant it to you guys.
Yes,
Okay.
Your Honor.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, JL. Okay, Ms. Walls, you're charged with theft. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You worked out an agreement. They're offering you 3 days credit for 3. Why? Why are you pleading guilty to this theft so it can just go on your record? How old are you? You're 24. Do you want to become unemployable?
No, sir, but I'm ready to go back to work and I can't work with it being open.
Her job said they can't hire her back on with the pending case. Once the case is closed, no matter how it is closed, she can go back to work. And she has a prior out of state. So this isn't just a first offense, Judge, but I explained it.
So you know what happens next time, right?
Yeah, I got court for my other one, October 6th.
Other what?
The theft charge that I have.
You have another theft open now?
Old case from Montgomery County Judge.
I've been arrested for it several times, but they never came and got me. So my bond company never gave me a court date the last time. They couldn't even find a court date.
How many open thefts do you have? This one and that one? Where's the other one from? Yeah, Walmart, Target, where's it from? Which mall?
Yeah.
Where's this one from?
It's a convenience store.
Yeah, 7-Eleven.
7-Eleven.
This now makes two. The next one is a felony offense. Instead of days, you're looking at years. I hope you appreciate and understand that.
Yes, sir, you told me the last time.
You don't want a probation to try to keep it off your record?
I wouldn't mind, but would I be able to, it would be open still?
No. Well, it'd be closed, but you're on probation, but you do a 6-month deferred if you do an anti-theft class, and if you don't test positive, you get out of here, you don't have a conviction on your record. And then, at the minimum, I'm telling you, when you get a theft on your record, you become unemployable. No one hires thieves. No one. You have a job now, but I'm telling you, in 6 months, you're probably not. History is that every single person goes through at least 8 to 10 jobs in their lifetime. What are you doing now? Where do you work now?
I work in manufacturing warehouse.
Okay. Right. How much money do you make an hour? That's a great job. And I'm going to tell you that if you stick with this job, fantastic. But the chances are that you're at some point going to move to another job. I'm sorry. Oh, so quit. You might as well quit school if you're going to end up with a theft on your record. Because you go into school makes no difference when you have a theft on your record. No one hires thieves. Why waste your money in school? Quit. I'm telling you. If you really want to amount to something in this life, having a theft conviction on your record is about the worst possible thing you can do. You want to get FAFSA funding for future schooling to become nurse, doctor, whatever? You're not going to get it with a theft conviction. No, they're going to deny you funding just because of a conviction.
I'll discuss with my client, Judge.
If I were you, I would do a deferred, successfully completed, and that point, it doesn't end up on your record. And you need to also understand in Montgomery County, they're a lot tougher than they are here. So you need to work as hard as you can to try to not end up with a theft on your record. Yeah, I'm cool with it, and that's what I would do. Don't. You're ruining your life. Stop freaking stealing. If it's not yours, don't take it.
Hey, Judge.
Hey, I know you're in a rush, so as soon as you get done, we'll get you out. And if you want to do it tomorrow or the next day, we can do that too.
I think she got work covered today, wanted to come today and do it.
Okay, then, and look, you can always zoom in as well, so you can make your, isn't it at 8:45? It's at 9 o'clock? Oh, you gotta go now? Go, and we can do it via Zoom, and then she's here already.
Okay, I'm
Right.
just up in the hall.
Okay, trying to get in the waiting room, and I'm kind of weary about letting.
No, I don't know who that is.
Okay. Okay, Ms. Walls, this is the best thing for you. We want to look out for you. We want the best thing for you. And if you really are in school, if you really want to better yourself, this is the way to do it. Because I promise you, people don't last but a year, 2 years, 3 years at jobs nowadays. They just don't. And with the theft conviction, you're all but killing any prospects you have to get a job. You want to get an apartment, not with the theft conviction. You understand? Now, I will cut you loose as soon as you get this done. All we want you to do is understand that this is not a good way to go. All you do is hurt yourself. I mean, even if they get the stuff back, regardless, all you're doing is you're hurting yourself and you're killing yourself. Don't do it. You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to test on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers, right to be arraigned, charge right to open court. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. Instead of the community service, I'd rather her do like a effective decision-making class instead, like even an online one. If community services, I'd rather you learn something from this. So if you would prefer, we can have you do an effective decision-making class in lieu, which is a lot better anyways. Now, all you have to do is the anti-theft class, the other class, and if you do that, stay out of trouble, I'll take you off in half the time. Could literally be done in 3 months. And then at some point in the future, if you behave yourself, you can even seal this thing so the general public can't see it. That's the ultimate goal. All right. How do you plead to the offense of theft, man? Guilty or not guilty? I will not find you guilty. I will withhold that waiver fees, for all of it. You're not going to have to pay for anything as far as supervision, anything. I can't pay for the outside classes. You'll have to do that. But with everything else here, you're not going to have to pay. Just do a good job. Don't pick up any new cases. Good luck. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Judge.
Of course. Hey.
Morning, Judge. May I approve?
Yes, sir.